हेलो एंड वेलकम टू न्यूज हैमस्टर। इस वीडियो का टाइटल और थंबनेल देख के आपको पता चल ही गया होगा कि आज हम किसके बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। वी आर इन द फैग एंड ऑफ द मंथ ऑफ ऑगस्ट और ये वो टाइम होता है जब लोगों का पेट्रियोटिज्म एक तरीके से खत्म होने की कगार पर होता है। So we thought that this is the best time to go around Bengaluru city and talk to people about their opinions on India's freedom fighters. I bet this is going to be an extremely interesting video. So make sure you stay till the end and follow NewsHamster on all our social media platforms. Just name a freedom fighter or someone from India's historical freedom struggle, and then you can share your honest opinion regarding that person. It need not be politically correct, just the first thing that comes to your mind. All right? What do you think of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as India's freedom fighter?
So I feel he has surely played a very important role, but there are both negatives and positives about it. He was one of the person I think who got great help because of his knowledge and education for India. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I'll add one more to that. So many people, many names will come like Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, but the first political prime minister came as a Jawaharlal Nehru.
हम यहाँ पे अगस्त का महीना इसलिए लोगों को अपने स्वतंत्र सेनानी के बारे में पूछने के लिए चले हैं। तो आपको आपके स्कूल की यादों में से ऐसा कौन सा स्वतंत्र सेनानी है, जब मैं बोलता हूँ फ्रीडम फाइटर या स्वतंत्र सेनानी, तो उनका चेहरा आपके दिमाग के सामने आपके आंखों के सामने आ जाता है?
जो हमारे फ्रीडम एंड फाइटर हैं उसमें सबसे ज्यादा लाइक मैं चंद्रशेखर आजाद, शहीद भगत सिंह को पसंद करता हूँ।
वो गांधी जी।
Okay, so my personal favorite is definitely Bhagat Singh.
सुभाष चंद्र बोस।
आपके कोई विचार है गांधी जी के बारे में, गांधी जी के किसी आंदोलन के बारे में, या फिर गांधी जी के जो सहायक थे उनके बारे में?
अच्छा थे गांधी जी।
तो क्या आपको लगता है कि आजकल जब स्कूल में, कॉलेज में इतिहास की पढ़ाई दी जाती है तो उसमें इन लोग के बारे में कम पढ़ाया जाता है?
हम लोग जब पढ़ाई कर रहे थे सर जी, तो हमारे क्लास में कक्षा 5 से लेके कक्षा 8 तक इनके फ्रीडम एंड फाइटर के ही बारे में पढ़ाया गया था। अब आज के समय में जो है इनको जो है निग्लेक्ट किया जा रहा है।
So do you think that, तो ये बहुत बड़ी कंट्रोवर्सी बेसिकली कि many people say that oh Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru probably was not the best PM choice back then and Sardar Patel would have made a very good PM. So in retrospect now 75 years down the line, what do you think of these conversations? Do you think that they are in a way kind of disrespecting our political leaders, or it is actually good to think of parallel situations in retrospect?
So according to me, see, whenever there are choices, if we would have made as Patel ji, but still there would be questions like from the other part. Whoever are now questioning Jawaharlal Nehru ji, the other side of the people would surely tell about Patel ji, because when he would take certain decisions, it would be right on some people and wrong on some people. So
आपके पर्सनली फेवरेट फ्रीडम फाइटर कौन से थे?
पर्सनली है चंद्रशेखर आजाद।
चंद्रशेखर आजाद जी थे। कोई कुछ 2-3 चीजें जो आपको लगता है कि आपके चरित्र में आनी चाहिए या फिर है जो चंद्रशेखर आजाद के चरित्र में?
वो हमारे जो नवयुवक है उनके अंदर आना चाहिए।
अच्छा।
जो हमारे अभी नया युग के लोग हैं, बच्चे हैं, उनको उनके कल्चर को जानना चाहिए, पढ़ना चाहिए।
गांधी, नेहरू, सावरकर, इनके बारे में आपके कुछ विचार है सर?
सावरकर भी ठीक थे। गांधी जी वो फ्रीडम फाइटर नहीं थे, वो एक अगुआ थे, एजेंट थे। जवाहरलाल नेहरू जो है सब अगुआ थे।
अच्छा।
हाँ,
आजकल गांधी जी के बारे में काफी उनका जो इमेज है उसको कम करने की कोशिश हो रही है देश भर में, और जिसने गांधी जी की हत्या की उनके मंदिर बांधे जा रहे हैं, उनकी रैलीज निकाली जा रही है।
अच्छा काम नहीं है।
Gandhi ji's, I don't like the way he put forward things, and Gandhi has done a lot of shady stuff. It's on the internet. There's quite a bit.
Would you like to name a couple of those shady stuff?
No, I don't want to, but if people search it up, it is pretty much there. There's a bunch of.
But I mean, just to play the devil's advocate, a lot of information that is there on internet is not necessarily verified.
Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. But the whole non-violence thing, it just doesn't fit with me. Because if I was the Britisher and people being non-violent towards me, I would be fine with it.
Cool. So you wouldn't really care to leave the country or
If
stay
they're not doing anything to me, why should I care?
Okay.
They're hurting themselves.
Okay.
I will just take all the resources I can from the country and I'll leave.
So you don't really believe that non-violence was a strong weapon as many people do?
No.
You don't believe that? तो अगर मैं आपको पूछूं सावरकर या पंडित नेहरू, इन दोनों में से आप एक को चूज करते भारत का,
उसमें सबसे फेवरेट हमारे सावरकर जी हैं।
सावरकर फेवरेट?
वीर सावरकर जो है वो एकदम
इसलिए आप ये नारंगी रंग का शर्ट पहन के घूमते?
हम तो देखिए बीजेपी जुड़े हुए हैं।
I'll ask you just one thing and you just have to choose one. If I ask you to choose between Pandit Nehru and our current Prime Minister Narendra Modi, if you can choose one of them as your prime minister, which would it be? You don't have to give any explanation for that, just name it.
Narendra Modi ji.
Narendra Modi. Cool. So these days when we see there are several governments who are omitting the names of a few freedom fighters. मतलब हम देखे जाए तो कुछ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में किसी फ्रीडम फाइटर का नाम हटा दिया, किसी का फोटो हटा दिया, जैसे रिसेंटली नेहरू जी का फोटो हटा दिया था. तो इन सारी चीजों के ऊपर आपको क्या लगता है? आपको लगता है कि ये सारी चीजें उतनी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है या फिर इम्पोर्टेंट?
I don't want to comment on that.
All right. In today's day and age, there is this growing resentment against a lot of India's freedom fighters. Many people do not consider several leaders as their freedom fighters. You know, if you have to name people like Nehru or Gandhi, they do not really go into people's good books as freedom fighters. So, what do you have any opinion on this particular issue?
Well, first of all, the thing I don't like about India's whole independence struggle is when we got independence, it wasn't that it's not like we fought for it exactly. I mean, we were having protests and all that stuff, non-violence and all that, but at the end of the day, it was more like a contract that we signed and then they left. Because only after Churchill came out of their, UK's government and stuff, only then we got our freedom. So I'm pretty sure if Churchill was still in power, we wouldn't even have our freedom right now.
I'll just ask you, or rather, I'll name a few freedom fighters and you could give one name or one adjective to describe them, whatever your opinion is about them. Does that sound cool? Yeah, sure. Savarkar.
Majestic.
Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
I'll say sweetly terrifying.
And Subhash Chandra Bose.
Inspirational. Very inspirational.
I like Subhash Chandra Bose because he actually made proper moves, made an army. Yes, people do think he's a little, war criminal because he went to Hitler to get funding, for support for his army and stuff. But that's fine as long as it helps the interest of India.
So considering that you're from Calcutta, will it be safe to assume that your favorite or, the most favorite freedom fighter from India's history is Subhash Chandra Bose?
Yeah, obviously it is. And I like him because firstly, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, although he's a short-lived life, he also was like at the end of his life, he was acting like, sadhu and all those this thing. And there is a movie in Bengali related to him and which depicts the life, like a little bit mysterious life of him. What I like about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is that he was that person who represented India than that time in a very diplomatic level, and that too in the entire world he made India's presence a very fruitful presence. So yeah, that is why I love Netaji.
Okay, so my personal favorite is definitely Bhagat Singh because I find him very, very inspirational. I'm a Punjabi and he's from Punjab, and it has been a massive inspiration for me and I think for the whole country as well. So I find Bhagat Singh as my most favorite. Of course, our MIG fighter, the one he came, that's also every freedom fighter is inspirational. I can't judge anyone, but yeah, I find Bhagat Singh most inspirational.
Do you think that today, 75 years down the line, somewhere people do not know much about the likes of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose or many people of those sort who weren't really alive when we got our independence? Or should we know more about them?
Yes.
Are you of that opinion as well?
Yes, exactly. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's life is not as celebrated as others freedom fighters' life, obviously, and a lot of people don't know about him. But he has, he was a little bit sighted, but from the side he has done a lot for India. India is staying with the independence for 75 years because of this reason only.
Okay. And finally, do you think that Prosenjit should have won the national award for that acting?
Yeah, obviously.